Good morning, beautiful world. I hope you're well. It is so wonderful to be back here with you after taking a little bit of a break from doing my live transmissions. I actually just have to connect my other phone to Instagram Live. So just give me a moment. Wonderful. Yes. Okay. We're live now as well. Okay, so mind all of the noises and and yeah, I live in inner city Manchester and it gets pretty noisy. I really miss being outside and doing my transmissions outside, so I'm going for it with all the noises and everything. So yeah, let's get straight into this reading. So I'm feeling really, really called to share my interpretation, what's coming through for me, the guidance, the channelings that are coming through related to this time right now. So astrologically, it's an interesting time because we're leading up to the summer solstice, and the summer solstice is important for many, many reasons. It's the coming of a new phase, of a new season here on Earth, and energetically, things are massively shifting. We're also astrologically coming into the phase of, I think the sun is in Gemini, and that with the new moon approaching, which is on summer solstice, which is new beginnings. It's a time for us to set our intentions for this new phase. We're in this last quarter moon phase and moving into this new season and this new time of new intentions. And you know, this is all coinciding with the first week of in the UK, the kind of sort of official, unofficial ending, slowing down, or just certainly change of this kind of quarantine situation that we've been in. And there's been so much going on politically. There's been so much protest happening. There's so much been going on out there in the world on social media. And, you know, we're really going through some incredible times. We're really going through it. We're going through the turmoil. We're going through the heartache. We're going through the devastating realizations of really what is, you know, what has been going on this planet for so long. And there's this kind of like, this sort of sense that, you know, it's like about now, it's about the now, and it's, you know, and of course everything is about the now in this moment, but there's this kind of sort of sense out there that, you know, you know, what's happening right now and why have we got to this point? You know, it's 2020 and we're still, you know, at this particular point in terms of, you know, racism and discrimination and you know, where the medical system is and why is coronavirus happening and all this kind of stuff. But for me, what's coming through is just a reminder that many of these processes, this phase that we're in as humanity, has been happening, has been going on for quite a while. You know, like thousands and thousands of years that we've been in this kind of murky, slow, sludgy phase of humanity. You know, because we're kind of conditioned to think that a few thousand years is like a really long time in the history of the human race. But actually, you know, we've been here potentially for hundreds of thousands of years. And also, I want to throw another kind of crazy thing out there, but how many times have we as human beings been through these cycles? Like, which cycle of civilization is this? We don't really know. This earth is billions and billions and billions of years old. And, energy and consciousness is timeless. When our souls live in timeless dimensions, and we could have been potentially doing this, thousands of times over thousands of millions of years. This is a bit of a head fuck, but but I just want to kind of put into perspective that this is a relatively tiny, short period of time, and we're getting so caught up in what's happened in this slitherine of time. Okay, and so with this, there's a kind of like a positive spin-off for it, and there's sort of a bit more of a denser spin-off to it. Okay, so the great thing about it is that we are allowing, some of us are, some of us aren't, some of us are really fighting it, but we're able to allow this shadow stuff to come up. We're able now, because this is the time. It's naturally happening. All of the planets are aligning. All of the energies on Earth are aligning. All of the energies out there in the cosmos are aligning to enable this shadow, this murky stuff to sort of naturally rise up. And so we can kind of choose to either like really embrace it, which is what so many of us are doing. I'm seeing like amazing Facebook groups, being born where these challenging conversations about race and inequality are happening. I'm seeing people coming saying, I'm going to hold my hands up and say that I've been ignorant to these issues. I haven't really understood things from the point of view of someone else, and I want somebody to teach me. We're getting a lot of this like really acceptance and of facing that we must face our shadow, and that we must face this challenge because it's going to just bring new life and bring new opportunities. And so many of us are naturally going into this phase and era of new intentions, and just riding this wave right now and just allowing it to be and allowing it to be okay. But then there's this other side where if we're really in fear and we have insecurity, have addressed our own fundamental our own fundamental kind of need to be in really deep protective mode all the time. If we haven't kind of looked at this sort of these mechanisms that we utilize ourselves to keep ourselves quiet, small, suppressed, oppressed, that we do to ourselves and we allow others to do to us, if we don't really address this, happening is the fear of all of this stuff is just accumulating and it's growing and it's getting more intense and it's going to engulf us until we are paralyzed. And so these are the two things I'm seeing at the moment. And reading this morning to kind of look at, right, okay, so where do we go from here? What is this time about? What can we focus on that's going to help us to navigate through all of this? And the first thing that came up, that our focus absolutely has got to be the I'm sorry. So the I'm sorry towards inwards and the I'm sorry outwards. Okay. And first and foremost to ourselves, we've got to let go of the guilt that we carry of like having not done enough, or I didn't understand that enough, or I wasn't there enough for that person, or I could have done better in that, or I'm not smart enough and I don't understand enough. Or I haven't been able to ride through lockdown well enough, or whatever. And it's there is no such thing as a wrong. We don't need to right anything from the past, make anything that was wrong, right. It just was what it was. It is what it is. And the behaviors that we've had in the past, the way that we were back then, the insecurities that we had, maybe even our oppression, like that, they were part of a defensive, protective mechanism, and that's okay. And a huge part of coming into the new way and really embedding and stabilizing a new level of consciousness on planet Earth, we've got to be able to recognize each other as being human beings without judgment. It's got to be okay to have been that way in the past. It's got to be okay to have made those mistakes and said those things and done those things, because the only way that we move forward is for, you know, is in love, in peace, and really for that we need to stop judging each other for what we did in the past and judging ourselves for that. And just recognize that, you know, we're humans and this was just a way that we are. And as we stabilize and come into a new level of consciousness, we've got to be able to access that part of our technology, which is to be able to release all of that old stuff and to also like release that old stuff for the other person who's carrying it too. And, you know, and be able to flow into this beautiful, abundant, new way of consciousness and healing, and recognizing all the beauty and strength and the juicy, beautiful things that there are to learn from all of that stuff as well. So the I'm sorry, you know, the Ho'oponopono, ancient Hawaiian mantra, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, is a beautiful, beautiful place to start with really going inwards and really it being okay to just be me. And that's ultimately what we're saying. It's like, if I want to move forward and evolve, I need to say that it's okay and really embed that. It's okay to be me. It's okay to be who I was in the past. That was all okay, and it's okay now. You know, and when we do that, you know, we can really start to move forward, and we can and really uproot ourselves from that really old energy, from those old traumas, those burdens, that karma, that old way of thinking. We can uproot that. We can detach to create these roots, these new movements forward. Now, the knowledge and wisdom that wants to come in at this time, also the knowledge and wisdom from the ancestors, is of this beautiful portal that is being created. Okay, and I'm actually going to run over here. One of my cards flew off the table. So it's a really beautiful card. I wanted to show you the portal card. You know, and this very much for me, we are walking into the unknown. For those of you, what else is going on? It's, you know, started to, you know, this and you activate your human technologies and all that kind of stuff. Those of you that are on this path, this image may kind of appeal to you. It may really call to you, because we are walking into this unknown, right? It is beautiful, beautiful light, but we don't know what's behind there. We don't know what is to come. And kind of in a way we sort of do, because we're calling it in with our intentions. And now is the time. It is so important for us to be really honing in our intentions, really clarifying those intentions, purifying those intentions, you know. And how do you purify your intentions? You purge the fear and the doubt and the anxiety and the fear from it. You look at, you tune into them, and you just keep purifying. You keep going into them, recognizing, okay, does that ideal or sentiment or statement hold fear? Does it hold doubt? Does it hold insecurity? And if it does, purify it, and then upgrade and tweak your intention, create a new intention in its upgraded form. And every time you do this, you know, if you do this a couple of times a day or once a day, I guarantee you in a few days, by the end of the week, by the time the new moon comes, you're going to have the most beautiful, pure intentions that are purified of any fear and trauma and karma that you had from the past, simply by going through this process. So, you know, new doors are opening, and we decide what happens. We decide what happens next. And it's because I've been talking a lot about this, simply the innate technology that we are here to play with as human beings. This fabric of reality is actually made up by 5 elements. space, air, water, earth, and fire. Okay, those elements which we're made of, which nature is made of, which the fabric of reality is made of, is here to be played with. So our thoughts, which are themselves energies, which are themselves made up of these elements, our thoughts literally create, play with this matrix, interface with this matrix. Our belief systems, our thought system, all of that literally creates our reality. So if we have hundreds of thousands, millions, and even billions of people on this planet right now, they're all going, we've been in this global shift together. It's a new season. What are we going to do next? If we can all start to converge our consciousness, our intentions, make them really simple. Yeah, make them really simple so that they all connect. Then we can literally, like that, overnight, we can ride the energies, the astrological energies. We can come together in ceremony over this beautiful time and literally overnight create the new way. We can literally wake up tomorrow and everything be completely shifted into right relation just because of our consciousness, just because we have made the decision, we were willing and we made the decision to commit to creating an intention. It's that simple. And this is the portal through which we step through. When all of our beliefs, our intentions, when all of our intentions come together and our beliefs are constructed around that intention, I believe we will step into the new way. I believe we will raise consciousness. I believe the children being born today will support the evolution of the planet. I believe we will heal. When we start to speak in those like fundamental ways, we project those energies, that our consciousness, our belief into the future. That is literally the portal that we are creating. We are opening up the fabric of reality to go and literally transform everything. And that is the portal through which we step. It's not just like a doorway or a hole like this. That's very 3D. It's a very like physical physical world thing, but we exist on all these other dimensions. And so on another level, going through a portal is like, imagine, you literally are just sort of stepping through a veil, like a curtain of energy, and on the other side is the same situation, but it's just completely brand new, completely different. It's that sort of a movement that we are creating. So how are we going to create this? How are we going to accumulate the abundance to actually do this? Where is the end going to drive, and that's going to create all of this? So we are in an incredibly creative time, especially going into this in the UK, particularly, and the northern hemisphere, going into this summer creative phase. Okay, a white butterfly just flew past me just now. I don't think you caught it on the camera, but yeah, she's just over there. Amazing, beautiful sign of transformation, metamorphosis, absolute ultimate freedom. So we can create this ourselves. We have all the resources and the abundance and the tools to create this right now. What we've got to do is express ourselves. We've got to come together as creative humans, because that's fundamentally what we are. And we've got to express ourselves, because this is how we weave the tapestry of life. So I was talking before about creating the intentions, creating the belief systems and all that kind of thing. It does take time, to go from like a thought being in your mind to like this powerful, powerful intention that's literally interfacing with the matrix. Okay. And so when we talk, express, have this opportunity to grow and evolve, our own beliefs. We have this opportunity to support and influence each other in a beautiful way. And so then when we come in a week's time, less than a week's time on Saturday, to putting those and putting them out there, and they again are going to be so powerful, and they're going to hold the energy of everybody that we have, we engage with, everybody that we bring with us, everyone loved dearly, everyone in our tribe that we bring with us. So I had some very close friends around yesterday, and some of us were sat around the table, and we were, we were going really deep. Like, we sort of almost debriefing about the kind of whole Black Lives Matter situation and what's going on out there in terms of awareness, inequality in general. And we went from having a conversation which was speaking about the issues in a very sort of black and white way, shall we say, in a very like kind of laying out all the different perspectives and things on the table. But the way the conversation then evolved into really starting to like pull out our own spiritual understanding of how this fits into the broader picture of the cosmic realms, and where the earth is right now, and where humanity is right now, and just this whole evolution that goes beyond race equality, that goes beyond gender equality, and all of those things that we're really caught up with on planet Earth. And we really rose above that, and we were creating together this, with a little baby there, and sort of he was absorbing all of this, then you start seeing that are coming. These are the sorts of conversations that we need to have with the little ones, to take them away from the like, this is wrong and this is right, to the, as a spirit, I feel excited about, or I have been facing my shadow with all of this, and this is what I've learned from it. Shifting those conversations from descriptive to really embodied, so we can really understand each other in a different way. This is just one example of the way that our expression, as we gather with our sisters and brothers, how this can help us to shift and upgrade into the new way. It's like practice makes perfect, right? We've got to practice, use these muscles, express ourselves practicing, so that when it counts, when we've been handed that baton, we're standing there up on the stage, or about to address a group of people, or about to do a video to our students, or we're about to set an the new moon, those times where we have been handed the baton to do our bit to get that beautiful message out there. Whether 100 people are listening or no one's physically listening, the universe is listening. The matrix is ready to create itself. And that's when we express this purified, upgraded version of what we have been weaving together collectively. So the expression is really important. Coming together is really important. The dialogue is really important. I have so many brothers and sisters right now creating spaces for people to go in and talk about the hot topics of today, talk about difficult issues, difficult topics, challenging topics that, people have never even been able to speak about before. And it's such an incredible time for this. It's amazing that we can do this without judgment. I'm holding my hat off to all of you out there that are approaching these territories and really making yourself available and being willing to go into this work. It's incredible. And so what we are here in this time, what we can let go of that is going to serve us, is the need to really stay in this this finite, definite position of this is me, so when we just hold ourselves in one place, in one belief system, in I am a man and this has always been my belief system and this is always going to be like this, or as a woman I am, or as an Asian young woman, or as a Black man, these are my fundamental beliefs. Those are all really important and we need to put those on the table right now. But if we project ourselves forward into the future, then we are all together in this as humans, okay? And we need to go absolutely through this phase now of really understanding the differences that we have experienced, where our trauma comes from, and like colonization and slavery and things that have happened in the past. We need to acknowledge that also as we move forward, get each other more. And at the same time, we have also got to drop those like false identities that we've created for ourselves based on those preconceived or like deeply entrenched conditioned belief systems around our race and our gender and our background and our class and whatever and whatever and whatever. So we are coming to this new era. We are uniting our being. We're not, we're coming out of an era where like a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and and now we are recognizing that we have both masculine and feminine within us. I have a Black man and an Asian woman and a white older woman within me because I have been all of those people in past lives. Okay, and it's time for us to bring this power back from our past lives, from our ancestral lives. All of this power and energy, these superpowers that we had in those past lives, all that beautiful stuff we accumulated, we've got to bring that back now into this present moment and draw upon those skills, draw on those energies, the abundance, the teachings within those identities, and unite them to create this right? And so our masculine and feminine energy in a completely different way. If you feel more balanced, if you feel like I'm starting to like connect with my masculinity, if as a man you're starting to connect or reconnect your femininity, I just bow down in deep reverence and devotion to you, because this is the crucial, fundamental, like core of what time is serving and teaching us, is this unity, is recognizing we are whole. We have all of this within us. We have the dark in us. We have the light in us. We have the rapist and the perpetrator and the victim in us. But we have the beauty, we have the healer, we have the unconditional love within us. Okay, we can become whole. We can recognize this incredible abundance that we have. We can let go of those old belief systems that keep us very much connected in that old way and that old identity, in that finite, definite, old version of a way that we thought we had to be to protect ourselves. Because it's absolutely okay for us to be vulnerable. It's absolutely okay for us to take those masks down. And it's crucial for us to do that, to start to weave the new way, to come together and weave the new way. It's time to take our power back, to draw our power in from all the people that we gave it away from, all institutions that we gave our power away to, and start to live the life as an empowered human that we are. All you women out there are giving birth to take that from the medical institution. All you parents out there that have been homeschooling your children and have new ideas and new ways you want to do things now that your kids are going back to school or not, bring your power back in from those educational systems. Everybody out there who recognized, that we can heal ourselves and that the medical system is not the be all and end all of our health and wellness, take your power back from the medical system. Take your power back from the GPs. It is as simple as an intention. Let's take our power back from our past lives, all of those incredible superpowers, just through our intention. That is all we need to declare right now in this moment that I call my power back at all times. I do the my power. I call my own from all times and places. I am my own. I am a sovereign being, a powerful sovereign being. This is a beautiful time to be tapping into your soul vision and your earth mission. And if you want to hear more about that, put your hand up. I have got a service that I can share, but I can do more transmissions. Those of you that are on my student groups that you're getting this transmission, I'm going to be going, if we haven't already been through this, Soul Visions and Earth Mission is going to be a huge focus of the work that we do. We're going to go on an amazing journey with this our soul vision and earth mission and make sure that we really embed this deep within us, within this incredible, beautiful vessel. So thank you so much for joining. It's been an honor and a privilege to share with you. Please connect. Thank you on Facebook who've left comments, Mediha and James. Hi, my dears. Amazing to connect with you. And everybody on Instagram Live. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Come over and join us at our Facebook group, the Holistic Health and Wellness Community, where we share all beautiful things holistic medicine, and we share lots of tools and resources. We have a free course on at the moment, Protect Your Mind, Body, and Energy Fields, which you can access via our Facebook page or our website, yourearthschool.co.uk. And we also have a beautiful, beautiful online course for those of you that are ready to go on this journey of self-healing, self-practice, self-power, self-leadership, professional and business development too. Check it out. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Hari Om Tat Sat.